The Lock and Load's reign of terror is over! So today, guys, Valve released the first major TF2 update in over a year, and it is huge. So because there's so much stuff in this new update, including new maps, new missions, weapon skins, and a whole ton of balance changes, I thought I'd make a quick video giving you a breakdown of what this update actually includes and what it all means for TF2. So let's start off by taking a look at the Gunmetal campaign. When you start up TF2, you'll be able to open up the Manco store and buy a campaign pass. Once you've activated this, you'll be assigned 2 skill-based contracts each week. You can earn points to complete those contracts by finishing the missions within them, and once your contract is complete, you'll receive either a campaign-exclusive weapon or an unlockable weapon case. Now, let's look at these new weapon skins, because they are by far the most controversial part of the update. There's the Two Fort Collection and the Craftsman Collection. Now, from these, every time you finish a mission, you'll have a chance to get a weapon from one of these collections. Then after that, we've got the Concealed Killer Case and the Powerhouse Case. These are just like normal crates, and after using a key on one of them, you'll receive a weapon from that collection. The paint job can vary in each unbox, from a clean factory new paint all the way down to a battle-scarred weapon. You'll also have a small chance to receive a strange variant on that skin, and an even rarer chance for that weapon to be an unusual. It's kind of cool that Valve have also added the ability to inspect weapons in-game now, so you can kind of run around admiring how beautiful all your stuff is. Now, I'm not going to go too much into my opinion on these skins in this video because it's supposed to be a bit more of a tutorial explanation kind of thing. I reckon some of them look awesome, others look a little bit weird in my opinion, but I'm going to be reserving my judgment until I start to see them in action in the game because you never know how they can turn out. But regardless of your thoughts on skins and unboxing and all that mumbo jumbo, all this next stuff is awesome. As part of this update, 4 new maps were added to the game. One Valve-made map called Powerhouse, which is the first ever 3-point CP map. I think it looks awesome, and I think we can expect some super fast gameplay from it. In addition to this Valve map, we also got 3 community-created maps being added as official maps. The first custom one is Borneo, which has been a long-time favorite for competitive players, and has been used in a lot of leagues like UGC. The second one we got is Suijin. I don't know if that's how you say it, but I'm probably going to have someone correct me in the comments down below. So yeah, Suijin is this kind of Koth map that is based in Japan, and it is absolutely stunningly beautiful. You've got all those cherry blossom trees. Really just load up this map even in offline mode and just walk around because there are so many amazing things to look at in that map. And last but certainly not least, CP Snowplow. The map which was originally made for End of the Line has finally been accepted into the game. It's beautiful. So now we've got these 4 new awesome maps, 1 made by Valve, 3 custom ones that some of you might have some experience with, and all these maps are now official ones running on Valve servers. You're going to see a lot more community servers running them. This is just generally a really awesome thing because it's bringing lots of new exciting gameplay to the game, which is always really, really good. But now let's move on to probably my favorite part of the update, which is the weapon balance changes. This update includes an absolute metric ton of balance and gameplay changes. Now, I've seen a lot of people kind of talking about this update and complaining, but oh, we didn't get any new weapons, so it's not actually that good. And trust me, I'm normally the kind of person that's like, Valve, give me weapons, but this update right here has probably added the most weapons into the game of any in history. And I know you're thinking it's kind of a weird thing to say, considering that technically there are new weapons in here, but the way that Valve has actually gone and rebalanced a whole bunch of stuff has made all these weapons that were just sitting around in your backpack gathering dust now actually viable, and a lot of the tweaks they've made to weapons has changed them completely. I mean, you can just look at the Big Earner. If you backstab someone with the Big Earner now, you now get a short speed boost to go and get your next backstab, which just, it sounds like so much fun. So yeah, this update technically hasn't added any new weapons, but I think you're going to see the most drastic gameplay changes of any update in TF2 history. Now, because it's not just, oh, I'm going to play demo, I'm going to pick up the lock and load and go and murder the entire enemy team. No, you've actually got choice now, because the weapon system, we'll have to see it in action, but from what I've read so far, it looks a lot more balanced. Now, I'm not going to go over every single weapon change here because there are so many of them. What I will do is link to them down in the description if you want to read all of that. But instead, I just thought there are 2 or 3 that I wanted to quickly go over and mention because these changes are absolutely massive. The Spies class has received a pretty awesome buff. Changing to a new disguise when you're already disguised now only takes half a second instead of the normal 2 seconds. While you're invisible, the Spy now also takes 20% less damage, and effects like Girardi and Milk don't last nearly as long. On the flip side though, the reign of the Deadringer Spies is over. That weapon got hit with some pretty serious nerfs which you can read about below, but the general gist is that you now don't block nearly as much damage and the drain meter goes a hell of a lot quicker. So in my eyes, this could actually be a good thing though, because with these new class buffs and a slightly less OP Deadringer, the normal InvisiWatch Spies are now going to be a lot more viable, and you're actually going to see more of a choice where you don't have 90% of the people using Deadringer, you've actually got a really nice balanced mix, so this could be a really cool thing. One of the most controversial changes I've seen a lot of rumblings on is that the mini Sentry can now be repaired. Now, nobody hates the mini Sentry more than me, but if we look at the other changes they made to the weapon, I think this looks like a real nerf to the more frustrating parts of that class. What Valve has done is actually put a pretty hefty nerf on the mini Sentry during what to me is the most frustrating time, which is when it's being set up. So now, when a mini Sentry is originally placed, it starts with only 50% of its max HP, and then it builds that up over its build time, which is really good. It means if you see an engineer put a mini Sentry down right in front of you, I can now take that out with a single rocket. Instead of having to waste 2 rockets on that, he then puts down another one, I have to waste another 2 rockets on that, and then he shoots me in the face with a shotgun because I got no ammo left. Whereas right now, you can quickly dispatch them as soon as he puts them down, and at the end of the day, I don't think anyone's going to be putting too much effort into repairing a mini Sentry, considering that most of the time they're taken out with 1 or 2 rockets anyway. And last, but certainly not least, the reign of the lock and load is over. That weapon no longer has a plus 20% damage to other players bonus. It now only deals that bonus damage to buildings. So while it's good for taking out an NG nest, it no longer has that one-shotting ability, which made it so awesome. I don't know, it could still be quite viable though. I really like the faster projectile speed, so I guess I'm going to jump in, give a few games of that, see what I think, but at the end of the day, it now means that all those other Demo Man weapons that have been neglected for so long are now going to be much more viable. Scouts no longer have to fear for their lives and getting one shot as soon as they see a lock and load Demo Man. Generally, this is a very, very good thing, because that weapon has been broken for so long, and I don't know how it took Valve 7 months to fix it after they broke it last Christmas, but either way, that weapon's fixed now. You can go into pubs without fearing for your life as heavy or getting one shot as scout, and generally I think it's gonna make things a lot nicer. So these were the big weapon changes that I found most interesting. Another massive change they've made is this new ability to pick up weapons off enemy corpses. So I actually haven't had the chance to play much of this update yet, so I haven't formed an opinion, but basically how it works is I can be running around with a stock rocket launcher, kill a guy with a direct hit, and then pick up his direct hit and run around with that instead, meaning that you can change weapons mid-life. How that's going to work with stuff like the mediguns and swapping Ubercharge between them, I'm not exactly sure, but I guess we'll see. It seems like a really interesting change, and hey, at this stage, assuming it doesn't do anything too bad to the game, I'm all for, you know, kind of mixing things up and trying out new stuff, so this could be really interesting. From the people who have played it, I saw them talking about it, they seem to really like it. So I'm going to jump in right now, guys, give this update a go, because I am so excited to play it. This was the Gunmetal update. This is the kind of main crux of the changes. If you want to read all the details down below. Oh, God, there were also new taunts. Yes, new taunts. The Spy Crab taunt. Lots of cool new taunts, which I can't wait to try out. I love taunts. But anyway, guys, this was the Gunmetal update. You can read about all the details down in the description down below. I'll put a link to the main update page. I just thought I'd make a video kind of explaining it for those of you who haven't really seen an update like this before, because it is pretty crazy. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you legends in the Gunmetal campaign. Bye bye.